It was a very short little life, but it seems like she was sent to us for a reason.
A decade after their daughter's death, a mom and dad still on a mission to make seatbacks safer in cars. And this morning, there is a renewed push in Congress to require updated safety standards. 3 on your side, Susan Campbell has some of those details.
Yeah, some industry analysts say it would only cost a couple bucks per seat to make seatbacks safer in cars and prevent them from collapsing in a crash. The failures can cause serious injuries, even death.
She loved purple and, butterflies.
Taylor Grace Warner was almost 17 months old when she lost her life in a horrific crash.
We were sitting at the intersection waiting to turn into our neighborhood, and all of a sudden there was this impact, and we got pushed 100 yards down the road.
Taylor was buckled into her car seat, her dad sitting in front of her in the driver's seat. It broke in the crash, collapsing backward with full force right onto the toddler.
She was just starting to become her own person, walking and starting to talk a little bit.
Andy and Liz Warner have been sharing the story of their daughter's life and tragic death for years in hopes of saving other families from the agony they've experienced.
And when we were in the emergency room, one of the doctors said, "You really ought to look into seatback failures because this is like the 4th one we've seen in the last month."
This crash test video shows what can happen when a front car seat collapses in a rear collision. Safe Laboratories shared it with 3 on your side. Watch the impact as the front seat fails and shoots backward, crushing the passenger in the rear seat.
It's basically across the board. A few manufacturers have tried to play with making their seats a little bit better, a little bit more crash worthy. But for the most part, it hasn't been consistent. And there's no standard that requires that sort of change in how you create the seat, how you protect passengers.
Jason Levine is the executive director of the Center for Auto Safety. He says NHTSA, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, has known about the dangers of seatback failures for decades. Yet over those years, safety regulations haven't changed. The Modernizing Seatback Safety Act would require updates to seat standards.
You can have a seat that is no safer than a banquet chair, a lawn chair, in terms of its strength and the protection it provides you, which is really just unconscionable at a moment when we have so much other safety technology in our cars.
The proposed bill is part of a package of auto safety legislation, which includes bills to help alert drivers about recalls, to study driver monitoring systems, and to update an early warning system to catch potentially dangerous defects in vehicles earlier.
Big picture here is that there are a lot of relatively simple, easy to access solutions for long-standing vehicle safety concerns that these bills attempt to tackle.
Hopefully this time.
So Liz and Andy will keep fighting for Taylor and for other families.
It's a marathon, not a sprint, but marathons shouldn't last 50 years.
It's definitely important just for us to honor Taylor's memory and move forward and kind of have something that we know we did as a family to help prevent the loss of life for other families.
We reached out to NHTSA. The agency said it does not comment on pending legislation. Scott?
All right, Susan, thank you.